And we are live. Welcome, everybody. I hope you have managed to survive your turkey day, and you don't
Got that,
feel bloated and terrible.
got that
Uh,
big bloated stomach thing going on.
yep, we are lucky today. We have the one and only Tobias Youngblood.
Hello,
El,
hello.
See, if
El
we were good
Montague
at
is in the
this,
house.
we'd have sound effects, like little applause sound effects and things. Other people do that. We're just sad.
Yeah, I do the
Yeah,
scheduling. You're going to have to do that.
Okay, all right. I'll look
sounds
into
pretty
it.
tough, honestly. I don't know if I could handle that either.
So, Tobias, you are the author of, let me see, 5 books, and you're in an anthology. Is that right?
4 books in an anthology.
Okay. Do you have them handy?
Well, so I wasn't including False Idol yet.
Ah,
So yeah, in a couple days. Yeah.
that's
So
yeah.
I
That's
actually do. I was prepared today, which is good for me.
alrighty.
So prequel to my urban fantasy trilogy is Woodland Vale, right there.
Yep.
Book number 1, Grave Covenant, done by Jeff Brown. Book number 2 is Dragon Apostle. And check this out, I even have False Idol ready to go on my tablet.
Nice.
That's pretty
You don't
serious
have
for me.
physical copies yet?
I do not. I don't have the print specs quite ready. It's only going to be ebook. I usually launch ebook first only, just because I can't do all that at once. And then also Death Sketch, different series. Yep, I'm starting this one. I'm getting ready to jump into doing a whole bunch of more of those after done with this trilogy. So very soon.
Alrighty. So, False Idol will be your 6th book, including the anthology, correct?
Yes, yeah, including the anthology.
All right. And Mark from the Book Lounge is here. Look at this.
You do a bunch of stuff with other people, huh, Tobias?
Not really. I mean, I would say I do for an introvert, maybe. I've only got one story in an anthology, but I actually really like that story, and I have the rights back to it, so I'm going to do other things with it. And I plan on writing more in that story, or adding on to it, because it's also the only science fiction I've ever written, and it's the only first person perspective I've ever written.
So, how do you like first person?
I like it. It just depends on the story for me. So my urban fantasy trilogy, there's too many POVs. I don't like first person with multiple POVs per se.
Yeah.
But I do like it because it gets you really in the character's head, more so than any other way. So
Yeah.
I like it. It just depends on the story. Actually, so Death Sketch is written in third person, which is kind of like my go-to, I guess. Third person past. But book number 2 in the Nightmare series is going to be first person,
Something
because it's
happening?
really a character about. What's that? What'd you say,
What's up,
Ro?
Bruce?
Oh, nothing. Everything went silent for me for a minute. It does that sometimes.
Okay.
No, you're good, Tobias.
Okay, yeah. So I've decided to write book number 2 in that series in first person, just because I think it's the best point of view for the tale that it is. So
You know, I was sitting there thinking I should probably write something in third person. I'm like, oh, but I never have. No, I'll just write first person. But
yeah,
someday.
and I was kind of like, why would you write something in first person present? Because I know you write in that, right, a lot, and I was like, that just
Yeah.
seems weird to me. But there's actually a good number of popular books that have that tense. I
Well,
just haven't really happened to read a lot of them.
so when
So
I was starting to write, I did my research and I read one article on internet, and it said the kids today prefer first person present tense, and I'm like, well then, I'm going to do that, and that's
Fuck
why.
the kids today.
So both of your sci-fi books are that way too.
All of his books are that way.
And what about you, Ro?
No, I don't write first person.
So you're anti first person?
I'm not anti first person. It's just once you get used to it, it's fine. It's just a little jarring at first, and
yeah.
like people have said that nothing bad is going to happen to the character, right? Because if it does, your book ends.
I think it's crazy that I've never thought about that. That's a really good point.
But that's not true, Ro, because I have killed off one of my characters when it was
One
first
of
person present tense.
okay, but it's not
And
your
and
main. Anyway,
and there's more to come. So
all right.
I think
No, I think it's difficult to do it like that because you're so limited in scope
yeah.
of what you can see of the world and what you can know is going on.
So
That
yeah, I would
it's really
say, knowing what I know now, I would never have done an epic fantasy in first person
mm,
present tense, especially when he's an introvert that wants to hang out in the woods and avoid people. Makes it very hard. Um, so knowing what I know now, I would not have done it, but I don't want to change the third person, for book 5 in a 7-book series. So instead, I'll just change the POV. So yeah, that's it.
yeah, and I found that if it's really good and you're really into it, you totally forget what
yeah.
the POV, what the
Yeah.
perspective is.
And that's why I
But
say I've kind of gotten used to it. You start reading it a while, and at first it's kind of jarring, and then you get into it. It's like, all right, you just kind of forget about it.
what I think is really funny about my stuff is all of my main characters, they're all introverts, and they all have a fair amount of me in the character. And I'll get people like, I didn't really care for the character, but I like the story. And I'm like, I'll try not to take that personally. I've got that multiple times now. It just makes me laugh. Um, but anyway, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Tobias.
That's
So,
right. There you go. Get back on track.
I was tricking you guys. I was doing pretty good.
so in 2 days, you will have a finished trilogy, correct?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's kind
What's
of really
what's
sad,
coming out?
honestly. False Idol. So book number 3 in my projectionist urban fantasy trilogy.
This is book 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be complete.
Let's see.
And the saddest thing is I'm really glad to get it behind me. Because I have so many other things I've been wanting to write for a long time too, and now I can. So, but
Sure.
that's not saying I don't
Roseanne.
like the story, but I'm just excited to be able to work on other projects.
So, who did
Yeah,
these
it is
covers
kind of nice.
for the projectionists?
Yeah, so those are Jeff Brown.
Nice.
Winland Vale, the first book, I actually wrote that. I started writing that before I finished this book number 1 because I realized I needed to have an origin story for these shape-shifting creatures that I haven't throughout the trilogy. There's these insectoid, really weird, druidic sort of shape-shifting creatures, and I was like, I don't know what the hell these things are. They're called the Vilsha, but so I was like, I need to write an origin story for them, and that's what Winland Vale became. But I was like, man, I can't afford to pay for another Jeff Brown cover. So
Yeah.
I ended up getting another artist called Vivid. I think it's Vivid Designs to do this one, and I was really happy with this one too. But it has a whole other. It's almost a whole different genre. This one's really more of a high fantasy because of the setting, and then the other 3, they're kind of they're. I call them urban fantasy, but they're not. They don't really have a lot of the tropes that urban fantasy typically has. Like it's not first person. We've already carried into that some. It's not like a super snarky guy. It's not episodic detective stories in each one, kind of like Dresden Files or another one like that. It's just one long narrative, multi POV. Nico called it.
Yeah.
Said it made him think of neo noir is how he would describe it. I was like that kind of makes sense. I think so.
Yeah, I was going to say he said Wyndham Vale is more epic fantasy, which is a prequel to this, which is then neo noir, which I'm not sure what that is exactly, neo noir, but hey, it sounded good.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm going for. Yeah, Winland Vale is definitely more. I would call it. I guess you could call it epic fantasy. I question that a little bit because it's not really huge in scope, but it does deal with that whole setting of the Winland Vale. So yeah, it's definitely at least high fantasy, if not epic fantasy. And it has almost no humans, no human characters in it. Very little.
When book 3 releases in 2 days, now that you're freed up from that, what are you going to point toward?
So I'm going to pump out 5 more of these in the next year, possibly 6. So I work on these with a co-author, Oliver Shade, who's also my son. And so we have, I want to say we have at least 12 stories mapped out, just waiting for me to kind of crank them out. So I'm going to be working on those for sure. And then I have a sci-fi story that I want to do that kind of features like a blob in Reykjavik, Iceland, which I actually went there. Was it 2 years ago? And so I have this like
Just for
idea
fun.
of just for fun, yeah, a
How is it?
standalone sci-fi blob and story.
I mean, who hasn't gone to Reykjavik just for fun? I mean, it's a thing
I've
to
heard
do.
it's really nice, but
It is.
I've always wanted to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I went. Oh my God, 8 years ago maybe, pre-COVID.
Did
It's
you
an
really?
odd place to always want to go, though.
It's gotten pretty popular, honestly. It's
Yeah.
got some really beautiful geothermal, national or not national, geographic wonders or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A volcano
those
erupted
two-
while I was there in the
Oh, that's cool.
in the pool. I wasn't in the Blue Lagoon, the touristy one. I was in the crap. I'm forgetting what it's called now. Another one that's really good and a little bit less popular. But that was when the volcano started erupting.
Were you
by the Blue
actually
Lagoon.
in it? You were actually in said pool, like swimming
So I
around.
was. I think when the word came out, I was like walking out of the pool to get
Okay.
to leave. Like I was still in my my bathing suit and everything. But I was like, oh, volcanoes erupting. Okay, not here, right? Okay. And then you could see it like when I got outside, I could see it like in the sky. Just everything was just like red and orange. It was pretty
Nice, the
crazy.
light show and everything. Good deal.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool until as long as the lava stays away, you're all right.
Right.
Yeah. How many waterfalls did you see? Did you leave Reykjavik?
Oh yeah, definitely love Reykjavik. But we did. So I wanted to do the whole island, but didn't. I was there for what, 7 days? So probably could have, but it was also in the winter. And so waterfalls, I want to say I saw at least 4.
But did you see the Northern Lights then?
That's the funniest thing. Not really.
Oh.
It was pretty overcast the whole week.
Hmm.
I did kind of, because so if you're looking for the Northern Lights, and you guys probably know this, you can if you can't see them with a naked eye, you can look through your camera lens and possibly see it. So I saw like some glimmers through that, but it was nothing crazy. I did go in an ice cave though. That was awesome. And
That's
the ice
cool.
cave had and there's several, but this was one of the more remote ones. You have to like take a huge 4-wheeler over a glacier to get to it, and then there's like ice steps inside the cave, and then you walk on top of a glacier. That was awesome.
Trinity, I'm showing up at your house one Christmas. Just telling you now.
Where the hell do you live, Trinity?
Manitoba, Saskatchewan, somewhere.
Oh,
One of those made-up provinces with funny names.
We've been getting them Northern Lights, from what I hear. I haven't actually seen them, but
See,
I've heard
I was
a
right
lot of
the first
buzz.
time.
as opposed to the Manitoba in Iowa, but that's fine.
I said province. I knew she's.
I know.
One of those made-up ones.
There's a Manitoba at every state, just like Springfield.
She automatically defaulted to Americans don't know any geography, and I totally get that, and that's absolutely fine. We get it, but it's America's hat or toque, I guess, as it were. America's toque.
Top hat. Oh, so
all right. As you can tell, we're all still a little overcome from yesterday's overindulgence.
Yes.
And Mike had a great time with a bunch of women.
13 Karens. Just what you want for Thanksgiving.
Fighting over the roasted carrots.
Well, if you put both trays in one oven, they would have braised and not roasted, and you can't have that.
Yeah. Tobias, is that like root beer or dark beer or like cold coffee?
It is dark beer. It's actually Founders KBS.
Nice.
Man, it's like just pitch dark beer.
It's quite good.
You know, wine and beer are those things. I watch people drink them, and I go, God, that looks good, right? It looks like they're really enjoying that. And then when I try it, it's like it tastes like ass. I just like I would like to like it, but I just can't. So anyway.
So EL, I expect you to write a book now, Mike and the 13 Karens.
No,
because,
it's one of those. It's one of those bad Tubi Christmas movies. Mike's just come back from the big city, and, to where is it? Idaho or whatever. Not Idaho, the other one. Anyway, come back to his 13 wives.
So Trinity wants us to talk about books. So far be it from us to talk about something other than books.
Although she should have seen 5 minutes, right, Trinity. Come on now. You've been here 5 minutes. And we talked about books for a good, 2 or 3 minutes early on.
Yeah, I talked about
well ahead of schedule for us.
I talked about every single one. I thought.
Here, we'll show them all again just for Trinity.
Okay, so there you go. Book number 1, Grave Covenant. Prequel. Book 2. And then book 3.
You're all caught up now, Trinity.
Coming out in 2 days.
2 days.
So
are there going to be audiobooks anytime soon?
Yeah, that's something that I've been wanting for a while. So yeah, that's the other thing I'm going to be jumping on, as well as writing the rest of these horror stories. Is audiobooks. I don't exactly know. I don't know who I want the narrator to be. I do think I'm going to pay for them rather than do like a royalty share. But there's all that stuff I've been thinking about.
I got a recommendation if you want to go. Someone who's very reasonably priced and does a decent job. I mean, no one's going to say, "Oh my God, this was incredible," but he does a very good job for a very, very reasonable rate. So,
okay, I'm not sure you just sold that.
Well, everyone's
no one's going to love it, but it's okay.
No one's going to rant and rave about how it's the best thing ever, but it's very good. And he has a very affordable rate. And if you don't believe me, just buy this book on audio.
Wow.
And you can listen to it.
What a dirty pitch.
He does that. Yeah, Mike is shameless. Absolutely shameless.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been writing, Tobias?
So in the recent era, I would say about 8 years-ish.
In the recent era? What are you
immortal? Well, in the late 20th century, bro.
Before I was reborn. No. I think I did some dabbling in writing when I was a young child. I don't really count those. So if you want to say those, then 30 something years maybe.
Okay.
But I don't actually have any survivors from that era. So we'll
about
just say
8 years. We'll just call it the new Tobias age.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, because nobody wants to talk about the late 20th century.
Yeah,
I love the late 20th century. Well,
I actually completely stopped reading books for about a decade.
Yeah.
Prior to starting to write, because I used to love reading books like all the time when I was younger, and then I started focusing on having a job and all that, and I stopped reading. I just stopped reading. I don't know why. It wasn't like a conscious effort, but
because you have other things to do.
Yeah, and then one day, like a colleague at work was like really excited about this book. They were like, "Have you read this book?" And I was like, "Oh, books. I remember those." And so then I started reading again, just out of the blue, and then I kind of got like addicted to it, and then I was like, I'm going to write books. So just never stopped from then. That was like eight years ago or so.
Now, was it just saying that I love reading and I'm going to write, or did you read a book and you thought to yourself, "Holy shit, I can do that"?
Holy shit, I can do that.
Was it one of those moments? No. I get that moment all the time with especially like sports coaches. This coach went 2-16 in his last 2 seasons. And he just got paid $30 million when they fired him. It's like, shit, you can fire me. I can get you 2-16 over 2 seasons. right? You can fire me for a lot less, but
I mean, I would say I always believed I could write books. I never questioned that because, like, growing up, I was always English was like my
the
subject I
first
really
language.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's almost like I learned how to speak it when I was, no, it was just an easy subject for me compared to other people. I don't know. I was like, this is your language. Why don't you know this, guys? So I always thought I could. I didn't really see it as a good career path, I guess, outside of being a writer. I don't think I ever just was like, I'm just going to be a writer, a fiction writer, which is what I should have done because it's really what I wanted to do. And I should have just done it on the side like a long, long time ago and just kept doing it then.
Well, what do you do for a career?
So I work in healthcare and consulting and finance. So I work with. There you go.
I think you've made a good decision there. If you like, living in a house,
right,
things like that.
I was like, I don't want to be poor. Here's another thing that I believe. I don't believe you should be writing fiction for money, like thinking about money. I personally think that produces bad work. I think you should be writing it based on. I'm kind of one of those believers of like the muse thing. Like you should be writing what you want to say, what you want to write, and it's even if it's subconscious. I'm not really like a write to market person. Like, oh, this is trending. Let me jump on that because if I don't, I won't be able to pay my rent. This month. I think that's terrible. Like I think that's awful. So.
Well, I mean, it's terrible and awful to you because you have a different plan, right? But I mean, if that's the route you've taken, you can tell yourself that sometimes people go to work and they do stuff that they would rather not do as well, but that's what the job entails. So it's a little mercenary, but I mean, I get what you mean, and I'm not discounting it.
It's a creative endeavor, though. That's what's different for me. I feel like that should mean something to you as a creative endeavor, even if I'm not saying it's
ideally
this big meaningful thing, but.
So, Tobias, let me ask you this question. I want to see if you're as horrified at this scenario as I am. We've had people on who do Royal Road, and they're like, I have to post a new chapter in 2 hours. I should probably write it right now. Does that just horrify you thinking of that?
It doesn't horrify me from like, my high horse perspective that I might be coming across as, but it horrifies me personally. Like I wouldn't want to do that. It doesn't sound fun.
If you give me any pressure, I'm like, nope, just not going to do it. I'm going to go play one of my video games from 1993 instead. So I really cannot have a deadline.
If you're doing Royal Road and posting once a week or whatever, and you wait until the last 2 hours, that's on you. Right?
Any number of people do that. And I mean, you've seen my writing road. There's no way I could do that and people understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'd have to have 2 hours for, words or spell checker at least.
Yeah, if I was going to do that game, I would play pretend and just write a big thing in advance and pretend like I'm doing it and just chunk it out.
Yeah.
And just, look what I just wrote an hour ago,
Have 2 or 3 books in the and then just,
exactly.
Send it out chapter at a time for the next 3 years.
And is Royal Road like what was that Amazon
Some
program
people
that
do
just went away?
Oh, Vela that died.
Is it the same thing as Vela?
Yeah. And there's several people I know who do it, and they say you have to play right. I mean, you have to get other people to talk up yours, so you have to get on there like a couple months in advance and try to network with authors so that when you launch your book, they'll say, "Hey, everyone, this is amazing. Go read their stuff." Mm-hmm. And you have to. And I'm like, oh God, that sounds like high school on steroids. I would never ever do that. Plus, once I'm done, I'm like, send now. The idea that I could write it and wait and just do a chapter, zero chance of that ever happening, as everyone sees by the typos in my books. But anyway.
Yeah, so no one, like people that do that, they don't use editors at all or anything?
Some people say they write clean so they don't have to, but
what does that mean?
Some people may have it edited beforehand. I don't think anybody in that area reading it is expecting it to be perfect, right? I think usually it's kind of like first draft kind of stuff.
So, yeah, I can tell you,
Yeah, that's
like Laura
wild.
Huey, she does it, and she's like, you can read these for free, but the next 3 chapters are on my Patreon. So if you join that, you can read those 3 chapters, and then she'll post it there, and then you got to wait 3 weeks for it to go free on Royal Road. Which to me, there's plenty to read. I would just wait 3 weeks, but she's able to get people who will support her on Patreon doing that. So more power to her.
It's very drug
Yeah.
dealerish. We're going to give you a little taste, but if you want the rest of it, if you want to know what happens to Bob, it's going to cost you. But yeah, it works for some people if you've got the time and patience to work through all of that kind of
And
stuff.
then when you're done, you just collect them all and you publish it as a book. And if you've seduced your followers right, they'll buy the physical copy even though they read it chapter by chapter. So you can get a couple bites at the apple that way. But I could never ever do that. So I'm not on there. There is no pen name of me on Royal Road. Just letting you know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like my sort of thing either, but I wouldn't knock anyone that's doing that.
No, I mean
it's just like all different types of writing. It's going to appeal to different people, and you just got to find that market wherever you are, and somebody's going to like your stuff. You just got to find them, and that's one way to find them. So, yay.
Yep.
It's probably more work than I want to do, quite honestly.
Yeah, it's honestly really hard these days with just so many platforms everywhere, and just where should I spend my limited time?
Yeah, I've listened to a lot of other podcasts about things like that, and the consensus seems to be pick 1 or 2 that you like.
Yeah.
And don't try to do everything. Just if people like you, they will come to you. But don't try to. If you try to do everything, you're gonna do everything like shit. And if you just stick to 1 or 2, you can figure it out and actually do something with that. So.
But what if you don't like any of them?
Well, yeah, I know. There is
0
that
and you'll
rule.
be happier.
Yeah,
Stick to
exactly.
0, you'll be happier, but you'll also be poorer.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Then you can do Comic-Cons and just concentrate your uncomfortableness.
Those are fun. I've been having more fun with those lately. Live events.
You've been doing a bunch?
Yeah, I've done a couple breweries recently. That was really good. I went to and they were free. They were both free. Actually, no, one was like $20. The other one was free.
How does that go over at a brewery?
Well, one of them was.
Is it just you, or is it like several people there, or what's the deal?
So it depends. They have events. Like these brewers I went to are like they have like tons of events each week, and they have like this whole community. People go there all the time. They bring their dogs, they bring their children, and they have like they actually had a author specific one, and there was a lot of authors there for it. And then they had a Friendsgiving. I just did that one, Friendsgiving event, and sold a ton of books at that. It was great, and it had no fee.
Nice.
And they actually invited me back to another event in December. So.
And they give you free beer?
They do not, and
Wow.
I spend some of my earnings.
That's how they get you.
That's a big problem I have with live events is I want to support other authors and just other vendors too, and I end up spending money when I shouldn't. And I'm like, well, I made no money.
Most vendors at those things do that. They'll wander around before when everybody's set up, and they'll wander, and they'll end up spending most of what they made.
Yeah.
So, Tobias, I got a suggestion for you now that you're 2 days away from having a finished trilogy. And Ro, you too. But I do a lot of events with James Maxey. So he actually bought for $1,100 a laser cutter or whatever, like for balsa wood. And he creates his own box sets now with all his hardbacks. And the one he has, he puts a little thing in the back. He's like, I have only one at this event. It has a little logo in the back for whatever the Comic-Con is. He's like, it's $270. It's my 12 books, all of my Dragon books, all in one set. It's commemorative. It has just this one little disc, so no one else will get this, only you. And he's like, yeah, and if I don't sell it, I just pop out that little disc. I just do it for the next trade show. I glue it in. And then, hey, this is unique. No one else could possibly have this. It has the, show in the year. And he is pushing me to cut one of my series short to finish it off, because then you can do a compendium. And he's like, I do a compendium of 3 books. It's $50. Then I have the hardback for 80, and then I have the illustrated hardback for 100 with faux leather. And you know what that means? That means that $50 paperback looks cheap, and I sell a ton of those, and it cost me $13 to print, and I'm selling it for 50. And he's like, so he's like, quit trying. He always yells at me. He's like, you're trying to get there selling $15 at a time. He's like, I'm selling this for 100. I'm selling that for 250 if I can't. He's like, I got bigger ticket items here, and I sell the ones for $50 like candy. So you might want to look into doing a compendium or a box set or something like that, just something to make it, so people think it's special. Because I mean, every time if you get on Twitter, everyone's talking about, I got this special edition, I got the broken binding, I got the whatever, and I mean, everybody loves them. So he's getting on that, and he is, he's like, I'm not selling as many books, but I'm making more money. And that sounds like nirvana to me.
Well, James is one of those guys that depends on the shows to make his income, though. I mean, that's how he makes his money, is doing, selling books and going to those shows.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can sell fewer high dollar ones, I would prefer to do that than, $15 at a time.
Yeah. No, I think that's really smart. But you said he builds them himself.
Well, he got the $1,100 laser cutter thing, and he builds them himself because he's retired and he can do that.
See, that's stuff I don't have.
But that's just recent for him. Before that, he put in an omnibus, and then you can sell. Hey, these are 3 books. He's like, I have my Dragon books in hardback. They're basically there for window dressing. I'm like, you can buy these 4 hardbacks for $30 each, or you can get them all in this for $50 or $80 if you want the hardback omnibus, and you're still coming out, And he's like, it just makes the expensive things seem cheaper because, if you buy them individually, you pay more. Just a way to make more money. And, people will be thanking you for the opportunity to get this collector's edition omnibus.
Yeah, I think that's definitely smart. It's a good idea.
And this is just like the social media thing, right? There are so many different things that you can do. Do you try to chase them all, or do you just say, okay, right, I can't, my head can't cope with all that different stuff, right? I don't know. To me, I think it's very much the same.
The big thing for me is, like, if I hate it or it's really not enjoyable, I don't want to do it because it's not going to be sustainable anyway.
Right.
You're just gonna, even if it does result in it has a good result, then you're going to be spending more time doing something you hate because you're going to be compelled to continue doing it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, if you do it that way, you have different price points. So if there's somebody who's willing to spend $100, you have something to, they can buy for that $100. If they, only have $15 on them, you can still sell them a book, but you have different price points instead of just having one price point and trying to twist their arm into, no, buy 6 of my books.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's one day I will get there, and I will have a completed series, and I can do that. But
yeah, you should jump on that, Mike.
You're not going to have a completed series if you keep wandering off on these little tangents there, Michael.
You know me. You know that's what I'm going to do.
Write your damn dragon story and finish up Pertani.
No, it's not a dragon story. If I never wrote about a dragon, I would be happy.
What's wrong with dragons? I got dragons in my story.
I'm not a big dragon fan in general. Overdone.
T-Rexes only, right?
Well, and I went to one.
He's being, what is it? It's
cantankerous, crotchety.
Those both work, but it's not what I wanted. But yeah, we'll go with that.
So I went to an authors convention once, and they had a show. It was dragons are just big cats. Discuss. And I'm like, that's probably why I hate dragons.
That's the thing that I like about dragons. You can have them in so many different ways. They can have such different temperaments.
Yeah. They can be thoughtful or, kind or, mean, whatever.
They can be feral or intelligent.
Or dead.
Small,
Yeah,
huge.
they could do that.
Oh.
But I don't really see any more dragons in my future either.
So you have dragons in your urban fantasy or neo noir?
I do. Dragons are a major component in it, actually.
Nice.
Dragons are in.
How do you work dragons into urban fantasy?
Well, that's again, like I said, it's kind of a bit non-conventional. Essentially, they're not living in the city; they're in an other place. And that's kind of goes back to Windland Vale. They're actually in. You encounter one in Windland Vale. And dragon's blood plays a big role in the series. It's a bit of a commodity throughout the series.
So
and different creatures' blood too, not just dragons. But dragon's blood is a huge part of it, definitely.
We'll get them there, Lucas, sometime.
Yeah, I'm working on audio, but I'm planning for audiobooks, but they're coming. They're coming. I don't want to say a date, but I'm definitely planning on doing them. Not currently yet, though.
You're not just gonna buy a microphone and try doing it yourself?
No, definitely not.
Just something else you can spend hours and hours and hours on.
No.
Well,
so
okay.
No.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to just ask if you've been making any more pens, Ro, but we really should be talking about Tobias and not you.
Not here in my basement apartment. No, I do not. A lathe is a serious piece of kit to be hauling around. So no is the answer. Yeah. So what else have you got planned for your release?
I have a show with Bearded Book Beast on Monday. That's pretty much it. Actually, that's not true. I actually have a promotion coming up too. So on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I believe it's just those 3 days, Grave Covenant will be free, the ebook. And I'm running a couple of promotions to related to that. And that's all I have so far.
So hold on one sec now. This book will be free on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Yep. And it's on Amazon.
Yep.
It's also in Kindle Unlimited. So
nice.
If you wanted to.
How many pages is it?
Oh, for God's sakes, man, it's free.
It is 309, 388, 390.
Nice. Very good.
That's my norm. And then the sequel, Dragon Apostle, is shorter actually, 350. Actually 338. And I want to say False Idol is like 350. So
smart man. He writes an appropriate page book.
100,000 words is like my benchmark.
Nice.
And I'm actually pretty good at like knowing how to get there somehow. I just kind of end up around there just naturally.
Yep. I was going to try to put a link in the chat for it, but it doesn't shorten it. It comes out, this 8-line thing. So
EL has questions since we're unprepared. Tell us about the cover.
Which one, EL?
Grave Covenant?
Sure, let's start there.
So this cover was one done by Jeff Brown, and when I pitched him the job, I guess, I hadn't finished the story, but I was mostly done with it. And I didn't even know to call it an urban fantasy. And I was describing it to him, and he said that's an urban fantasy. And so he kind of pushed it in an urban fantasy kind of look way, a way to look. And he's like, this is kind of, they have the main character on the cover. They have an urban setting. So honestly, it was just driven by him, and I think he does amazing work. So I kind of trusted him with that. But on the cover, Ridley is the protagonist in Grave Covenant, one of really 4 main characters. throughout the trilogy. It's definitely like a kind of even split screen time between these four main characters. He's the one human character, or there's two human characters. The second one is Iris, she's kind of like the badass girl kind of archetype. She's kind of like an Arya Stark character. And then there's two insectile shapeshifter creatures who are also main characters. But as far as like what to take away from this cover, I think it's really just trying to show you that it's a dark urban fantasy. And then the crow in the cover is actually Civ, who's one of the shape shifting creatures, but you wouldn't know that by looking at it.
So EO wants to know: are they the POVs? Are they all side characters? They protagonists?
So in they kind of come together to be an ensemble, but they start off kind of as separate stories that are interweaving.
And Lucas, we kind of touch on this, but how does it compare to Dresden, or does it?
I would say it's nothing much like Dresden. It's not episodic detective sort of stories where each one has its own resolution. It's one long narrative. However, each story does have like a conclusion to the main, conflict of that book. So it's not like just a cliffhanger like in that sense, but it's not like that. It's really not that much like Dresden at all. But I do think if you like Dresden, you might like it. If you like Dresden and you also like high fantasy or epic fantasy, I think you would like it. And dark fantasy. If you're someone that is more because it does have elements of horror and sci-fi in it too. So
You got a little paranormal in there too?
Definitely have some paranormal. There is some
all the buttons.
Yeah, it's got interdimensional creatures called the Projectionists. That's where the series name comes from. They are kind of like playing a game with all the characters in the story, all the way throughout. After the prequel, that's really the main conflict. But there's kind of a lot going on, so it's hard to explain. But the Projectionists are the main big baddies, but then there's several other villains throughout as well. And then one of the insectile shapeshifters is going through a demonic transformation throughout the trilogy as well.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And that has to do with succubi. So those are another characters in the creatures in the story. There's also a vampire. There's a pixie who plays a key role. He's in Winland Vale and he comes back in book 2. And he is after Dragon's Blood.
So did you plan all this out, or do you plot it all out to begin with?
So I do plot. I kind of do a mixture of pantsing and plotting, but I have to have the end. I have to know where things are going. I'm not going to just sit down and write a big long story without knowing where I'm going. The vampire might be sexy depending on your tastes. I wouldn't say that he is sexy, but you might.
So okay, Tobias. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I totally lost my thought. I got distracted with the vampire comment, but
I ruined it. So question for you. When I sell your book on my table, I ask people like, "Do you like Dresden?" And I'm like, "This is darker, much darker than Dresden." Is that a fair selling point, or is there a better way to pitch this? I do like like Lucas said, fantasy horror might be. Think Dresden, but fantasy horror.
You could say that. I mean, I wouldn't really say think Dresden because it's not really that similar to that.
Okay.
I have found that people really get more interested in it when I just describe all the little aspects about it. That it's got interdimensional creatures. It has the insectile shapeshifters. I wrote an origin story on them. People tend to like that. They think that's weird, and then they get interested. And then I describe the four main characters and how one of them is kind of going through a demonic transformation. And then usually, it's either like something they're interested in or something they're extremely not interested in. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't have a really good tagline for it because it's tough. It's so many different piece of mashups of different
all the
genres.
fantasy you like in one place.
Yeah.
You got a little
So-
portal fantasy, a little dark fantasy, a little paranormal, just everything
Yeah.
except the romance, right?
Yeah, I would say it's paranormal dark fantasy, really. Except for Winland Vale, which is high fantasy origin story with a dragon.
Okay.
There you go. So now what we're going to have you do is pick one of those characters
Ooh.
to go on a little adventure of your own making.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Civ, who is one of the insectile shapeshifters, and he's actually the protagonist of Woodland Vale, and I think he's actually the main character of the whole series, even though he's not the protagonist of Grave Covenant from the cover, but he is a character that is in the very first chapter of the prequel, and he's all the way in the end. I mean, he's my favorite character from the whole series, actually.
Okay, so what's his deal?
He is basically like very wise. He's called their clan, the shapeshifting. They're intelligent druidic creatures, and he is kind of like their advisor, their seer. So he's kind of like the wise man kind of trope perspective. He's almost like a Gandalf sort of character, but he's not a wizard. He's just kind of wise. He's also very kind and noble. So he's almost an ideal kind of person. You could almost think of him as like a Jesus kind of figure or something. He's always does the right thing. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent, and he's can shapeshift into anything.
Lawful good shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So EL has a question
can,
here before we start.
He can change anything he wants.
Yeah. So they mainly shift into different animals in their original setting of Winland Vale. However, they can shift, and they continue to learn to shift to different things throughout the trilogy, including humans. But yeah, they don't shift into different insects. They could, but they don't typically.
He is not a human then.
He's not a human.
Okay. All right. Mike, you got some questions? Do I need to pull up the little spinner thingy?
I got the questions unless.
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. So Sid, right?
Civ, S-I-V.
Civ. Okay. I was listening, sort of. Okay. Civ has been transported to. Where are you? The Darkened Grove.
Oh, perfect.
Give me a second here. Thick fog hangs between twisted leafless trees as the ground is littered with the remains of ancient totems. An eerie silence permeates the air, broken only by the occasional rustle of unseen creatures. Hidden beneath layers of fallen leaves are cursed trinkets and iron-bound chests protected by ghostly wolves whose eyes flicker like distant lanterns in the mist. ChatGPT is... But anyway, one day I will fix these, but not anytime soon. So he has been transported there to the Darkened Grove.
Okay.
Now he gets a... What is your favorite color?
Green.
Okay, so he has been given a green fizzy potion that he's guaranteed 100% will work, but they lost the label, so I'm not really sure what it does. But it's quality stuff, guaranteed to work. So he has his green fizzy potion. He's in the Darkened Grove, and now it comes to the point where you have to make a choice. He will have an encounter with either a common animal or a fantasy creature. If he chooses a common item, he'll get the common animal. If he chooses a weapon, he'll get the fantasy creature. Which does he choose?
Does he have a goal, or is he on a quest?
As he's walking in this Darkened Grove, looking at the cursed totems, as one does, he is going to encounter something. Now, does he have with him a common item, or does he have a weapon?
I'm gonna go with he gets a weapon.
Alrighty. So he gets 17, which is... Stop that. He has a 6-foot glaive. So glaive is a sword on a post, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Sort of
as weapons go,
Sword on a stick.
that's pretty good. So now he is going to face 15. Come on here.
Well, how big is Civ?
Depends on what form he's in. Is he in his natural form? Then he's going to be a small human, so like a size of an average, below average size man.
Given a 6-foot weapon, he could make himself bigger, and
He could, yes.
yeah, okay.
So
Well, he wouldn't. He actually wouldn't want to turn into a human because he's terrible at that. That's kind of something that happens in the story.
Okay.
That wouldn't go well for him.
All right. Mike?
So as he's looking at the ancient cursed totems and he actually knocks one over, and that's when you get all of a sudden somebody shrieks in horror, and lo and behold, it's a vampire. And he's upset because you just knocked over the totem to one of his conquests. So vampire's kind of ticked, and he's coming at you saying something in vampiric, kind of angry. What does Civ do?
Civ is going to shift into a crow and fly above the vampire, squawking at it, asking what its problem is or what it wants.
So go and just release that glaive.
Yeah, I don't think Civ would really know how to do anything with the glaive.
Okay. He is a crow. He is flying above the vampire. Ro is our DM because I don't like to do this part.
I don't really know much about vampires. Let's see. What kind of powers does a vampire have?
Did somebody say Walla Walla, Washington? All I know is from the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Abacadabra. He magics you down toward him, I guess. I guess he pulls you down. Yes, Lucas, thank you. we got
pulling me towards him.
Kind of even footing.
Oh, okay. So now he's gonna have to do it. He's going to he's gonna unshift. He's gonna shift back, recognize his mistake, and he's gonna pick the glaive up.
Okay.
Assuming he got dropped down to the ground, and
sure.
Now he's not going to try to fly away anymore because he knows that's a bust.
So what do you do now?
You have the glaive. The vampire is still approaching. He's cussing at you in vampiric. It sounds a lot like Czech.
He's almost meandering toward you. He's in no hurry to get there. He's pretty sure of himself.
Yeah, he's not a German vampire. He'd be very direct and be on you already. He's more meandering.
You know what? He's been in America for a long time. He's a really fat vampire because all the cholesterol in the blood he's been drinking. So he's kind of a husky vampire.
Jeff, I want you to draw this. That's what I want.
Yeah, I would definitely go on T-Rex if that's an option.
There are no T-Rexes anywhere around.
Well, you know, Civ being as noble as he is, he wouldn't want to just kill the vampire. He'd probably think there's just something wrong with it. Because why would it want to attack Civ for no reason?
Okay.
So I think he's gonna say he's gonna tell him to stop. He's just gonna put his hand up and tell him to stop.
He keeps walking towards you and he smiles a little bit and he holds out his hand like he wants to shake your hand and say hello.
I think now Civ is gonna stab him through the heart.
You gonna try?
Yeah, because he's gonna see through that.
The vampire doesn't even have a weapon. You were ready to give him all the benefit of the doubt in the world 2 seconds ago, and now you're just going to stab him. Get all stabby.
Civ
he pulled him out of the sky with his powers. That is a weapon.
Okay.
So trust has been broken.
Okay, that's fine.
What do I need to roll, Ro?
16.
I'm assuming his eyes are like glowing red too, very, very threatening.
Well, you know, he's probably diabetic, so.
And the setting isn't very cheerful either, so.
No.
What'd you roll, Mike?
I rolled a 14.
Yeah, so you go stabby, and he kind of just, goes under the arm kind of thing.
Mm.
He's still got his hand out to you.
Is he still smiling?
Yeah, he's just, it's like, wants to say hello. He probably gets stabbed at a lot. I mean, he is a vampire after all. He's probably used to that. And in about 3 seconds, he's going to be like right in your grill.
All right, I'm gonna shift into a snake and slither underneath him.
Okay. He shifts, and give me a 16 or better for him to stomp on the snake's tail.
18.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's gotcha. What do you do?
Turn into an elephant and knock him on his head off.
Well, he got injured, so he's gonna have to go back to his normal form, and his injury is gonna remain. And really, he's not a warrior, so I think it's not looking too good.
You know,
Well,
he
all he
has a
did
fizzy
was-
green potion.
He didn't step on the head of a snake. He just stepped on the tail of it a bit.
Yeah, so now
Yeah.
he can't sit down without
He,
pain.
he wasn't trying to grind it into the ground. He was just trying to stop you from getting away. Roll for initiative. What do you got there? You got a D8?
I have a 6, I have a 12, I have 20.
A 12 is fine. Odd number, he gets to shift before the vampire can grab him, and even number, the vampire reaches down and grabs him by the head.
He shifts first. I rolled a
Okay.
7.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him that I have some dragon's blood, and I'll give it to him if he lets me pass.
Hmm. He asks to see it. Do you actually have it?
He does.
Okay. Do you take it out and show it to him?
Really quickly, and then I put it back away.
If you're going to give it to me, you got to give it to me. You can't be just putting it back in your coat, man. I need to make sure this is real.
Gotta accept the offer before I'm just gonna hand you the dragon's blood.
Give me a 16 or better, Mike.
12.
Oh, okay. He just kind of makes a motion like this, like he's going to grab you. See what you do.
I don't fall for it. I just stand there
All right.
and shrug.
15 or better, Mike.
10.
Fuck's sakes, Michael. Okay. I have my own damn dice. You got one chance, Tobias.
You have a green fizzy potion.
I'll use the potion.
You're going to drink it, you're going to throw it at him.
I'm gonna drink it.
Good choice. It is a stone blood concoction. It turns your skin to stone, boosting defense, but it does limit mobility. But now your skin is stone.
Okay. I'm going to roll again for myself now. Take a step back, trip over my own heel. I'm just surprised is all that this thing just turned to stone in front of me. I rolled a 2.
Okay, so now you're an Egyptian statue, basically, but you can walk. You can move. Vampire is surprised and on his back foot. What do you do?
I am going to approach, act threatening, like I'm going to pummel him with my rock fist.
Are you
But I'm
just
playing-
approaching, or are you actually pummeling?
I'm actually pummeling. Yeah, I'm gonna pummel him.
14 or better, Mike.
5.
Okay. Swing and a miss. But now that you're that close, swing and a miss. Yes. God, I
It's a
hate this game.
tea party time.
We need to stop this game. We need to find something else. All right, your turn.
I am going to stomp on his toes.
You're going to stomp on his toes?
Yes.
Okay, stomp away.
Do we roll or does it just happen?
Roll the dice.
What do I need?
Just roll the dice.
18.
Yeah, okay. So you step on his toes, and he is really, really annoyed about that.
Now I'm going to insult him.
I think stepping on his toes just did that.
And his mother, too.
Okay. Now, stone skin doesn't make you impervious, right?
It's kind of what I was thinking it does.
Turns the skin to stone, boosting defense. It says boosting, it doesn't say.
Natural 20. He grabs you by the throat and lifts you in the air and starts to squeeze because he is really not happy that you stomped on his foot and insulted his mother. His mother was a lovely woman, and you don't know her. She left when he was young. He's still a little bitter. 300 years ago.
Okay, I'm going to shift into a sea urchin. Now your hand really hurts.
Okay. He drops you, and I'm going to make this really difficult. I have to roll a 19 or better. I did not. He does take a kick at you like a punting a football as he drops you, but he does miss. So there is that.
Now I'm just going to roll away and scream.
Oh, he's going to try stomping on you. I'm sure he can keep up with you. I'm sure a sea urchin doesn't roll that. You know what? He's not going to do that at all. If he can call you down as a bird, he can freaking call a sea urchin to him. Right?
Maybe before his injured toes.
Nope, not with a 3. He can't. So
he got the stick next to you instead.
You're just going to keep rolling? Mike's what is he rolling into, Mike? This is I say this every time that this is the dumbest thing ever, but this one really is kind of goofy.
This is
I'm getting Bugs Bunny vibe. I'm waiting for the sea urchin to be in his hand. He's going to turn back to a human, and I mean we're
focus, abracadabra. Focus.
I'm feeling I'm feeling a strong wind just pushing me like a tumbleweed.
In the darkened grove, there's thick fog, and there are ancient totems all around, so you can go behind a totem, and
we'll give you that.
Can obscure you. Of course, you are a sea urchin out of water, but Oh well.
Well, I was just going to say the vampire just decides that it's really not worth it anyway. He needs to stick to his diet. So,
and Tobias says, "The heck with you all. We will just disappear."
Right. Well, Tobias does have a book coming out in 2 days, and
it is
at
the
that
third
time,
book in this series.
Yep, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This book will be free, so go check that out on Amazon. And that is the first book of the Projectionist series. This is book 2. Okay. And Tobias said, this was a really stupid thing. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to leave. And, I can't blame him. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before, if I'm honest. But yes, definitely go check Tobias's stuff out. And he will have his third book in that series out on Sunday. So do him a favor, check it out, leave a nice review. And I think that's all we have, right, Mike? We're back, 2 days?
In 2 days.
The 20th? The 30th, not 20th.
The 30th.
Sarah New.
Yes.
At 2 p.m., Mike will be here with Sarah New. It is unlikely Ro will be here with Sarah New.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, all. You've just witnessed history. Somebody just said, "Screw this, I'm going home," and left. And there we are. All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a lovely weekend.
Yep. Thanks.